You know, becoming a millionaire might feel like this impossible, out-of-reach dream. Something only lucky people, celebrities, or the children of billionaires can ever touch. But let me let you in on a secret. Most millionaires, they weren't born into mansions or handed trust funds wrapped in silk ribbons. No, they built their wealth, brick by brick, habit by habit, with simple choices that compounded over time. And here's the twist. These habits are not locked away in some secret playbook. They're practical, doable, and they can be woven into your life starting today. So lean in, because what I'm about to share could be the spark that shifts the trajectory of your financial life forever. Habit 1. Live below your means. Picture this. A neighbor rolls up in a shiny luxury car, music blasting, looking like they've got it all figured out. But behind those tinted windows, debt, stress, a bank account screaming for mercy. Meanwhile, the quiet millionaire across the street, they're driving a reliable 10-year-old car that starts every morning without complaint. Their house? Modest, comfortable, nothing too flashy. But inside that home, peace, savings, freedom. Here's the first millionaire habit. Spend less than you earn. It sounds simple, but it's one of the hardest things in a world constantly screaming, buy more. The wealthy understand that real freedom doesn't come from showing off. It comes from stacking cash, investing smart, and letting time do its magic. This doesn't mean living a life of deprivation. It means being mindful. Cook at home instead of eating out 4 nights a week. Skip that latest gadget release. Your current phone still works fine. Every dollar you don't waste is a soldier you send out into the battlefield of investments, fighting for your future. Habit 2. Pay yourself first now. Listen closely, because this is a game changer. When most people get paid, they think rent, bills, groceries, streaming subscriptions, dinners out. And then, if anything is left, they try to save. But millionaires flip the script. The moment money hits their account, they carve out a chunk for themselves first. Savings, investments, non-negotiable. It's like writing a check to their future self before anyone else gets a dime. Think of it this way. If you don't respect your money enough to save it, who will? Even if it's just $50 a month, even if it's $20. The magic isn't in the amount, it's in the habit. Over time, those small, consistent contributions snowball into a mountain. Imagine 10 years from now looking back at the version of you who started saving today. You'll want to shake their hand. Habit 3. Invest wisely. Here's where the story gets thrilling. Imagine planting a tiny seed in your backyard. Every year it grows a little taller, a little stronger, until one day you're standing under a tree so massive it shades your whole yard. That's what investing feels like. Millionaires know the power of compound interest. Interest on your money and interest on the interest that money makes. It's like financial magic, but it only works for those patient enough to wait. And here's the key. They don't gamble everything on one wild stock pick. They spread their money across stocks, bonds, real estate, diversifying like a master chef balancing flavors. They're not chasing quick wins. They're playing the long game. If you're new, don't be intimidated. Start small. Index funds are like baskets holding tiny slices of hundreds of companies. Low cost, stable, proven over time. The earlier you start, the more time your seed has to grow. Habit 4. Avoid debt. The silent killer of dreams. Millionaires treat it like a venomous snake, especially high-interest debt like credit cards, which can suffocate your financial freedom before you even realize it. Here's the truth. If you're paying 20% interest on a balance, it doesn't matter how good your investments are. You're running uphill with weights tied to your ankles. Wealthy people rarely swipe a card they can't pay off immediately. If they borrow, it's for something that grows in value. A home, a business. Not for a car that loses value the moment it leaves the lot. Step 1 for you, hunt down high-interest debt like a bounty hunter. Pay it off. Free yourself. Once you do, you'll feel lighter, like you just cut loose a massive anchor. Habit 5. Never stop learning. Here's something you might not expect. Millionaires? They're students for life. They read. They attend seminars. They ask questions. They study financial trends like detectives piecing together clues. Why? Because money rewards the curious. Imagine two people handed the same paycheck. One spends it. The other reads, learns, invests, and asks for help. 10 years later, their lives are unrecognizable. Knowledge is leverage. The more you know, the sharper your decisions, the bigger your opportunities. Want to follow this habit? Dedicate 30 minutes a day, read a financial book, listen to a podcast, watch a lecture, feed your brain. The payoff, priceless. Habit 6, set clear financial goals. Have you ever tried driving with no destination? You just wander. Burn gas? Waste time? That's what life without financial goals looks like. Millionaires know exactly what they're aiming for. Retirement, a dream home, a business empire. They don't just wish for it. They plan it, write it down, and break it into bite-sized steps. Want to save $1 million for retirement? That's overwhelming. But saving $500 this month? That's doable. Stack enough doables together, and suddenly the impossible feels inevitable. So ask yourself, what's your target? Write it down. Commit. Then chase it like your future depends on it, because it does. Habit 7. Surround yourself with winners. Here's a hard truth. If you hang out with people who complain, spend recklessly, and drown their lives in negativity, it's only a matter of time before you sink too. But millionaires? They build tribes of ambition. They connect with mentors, visionaries, people who challenge them to level up. Being around successful people is contagious. You absorb their energy, their mindset, their opportunities. Suddenly, your standards rise. Ask yourself, who's in your circle? Do they lift you up or pull you down? Sometimes, building wealth starts with building new friendships. Habit 8. Discipline and patience. Here's the part nobody wants to hear. Becoming wealthy isn't a lottery ticket. It's a grind. Discipline is saying no to the impulse buy. Patience is watching your investments crawl upward year after year without panicking. Millionaires are masters of delayed gratification. They'll sacrifice today's thrill for tomorrow's freedom. And when tomorrow finally arrives, they're the ones smiling while the rest scramble. Remember, wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. Habit 9. Give back, and finally, the most beautiful habit. Millionaires give, not because they have to, but because they know money is more than numbers in a bank account. Its impact, they donate, they volunteer, they mentor, because real wealth isn't measured by how much you keep, but by how much you share. And here's the twist. Generosity creates a cycle. You give, others benefit. They give, the ripple spreads. And suddenly your wealth is doing something far greater than just making you rich. So here's the truth. Becoming a millionaire isn't about luck. It isn't about genius IQ. It's about habits. Simple, practical, repeatable. Live below your means. Pay yourself first. Invest wisely. Avoid debt. Never stop learning. Set clear goals. Surround yourself with winners. Be disciplined. Give back. These aren't just millionaire habits. They're freedom habits. And if you start practicing them today, 10 years from now, you might just look in the mirror and see someone you once thought was impossible, a millionaire. That's the power of habits. That's the roadmap to wealth. Now tell me, which habit will you start today?